Hi guys, Scott from Omega here. Apologies about the video quality and audio quality. I am messing up my words here. All I got is my phone. I'm house sitting for my parents at the moment. So sorry, this is the best I can do on short notice. Wanted to answer a few questions about the upcoming event Crossfire, hosted by us, Omega Ops, as well as Trigger Airsoft. That would be May 17th to 19th. 2019, so the long weekend here. So one of the big questions we keep getting asked repeatedly via private message and elsewhere is, where is it? We're saying 100 Mile. There's a couple of different reasons for this. Security reasons, basically. We're trying to keep people from visiting the property. This has been an issue at other events, not necessarily ours, but other people's events. It seems like people can't get the concept of private property, so we are doing our best to protect the owners right now, because we don't want the event being put in jeopardy by people who just don't get this concept. All right. Some of you may have figured it out already. Just keep it to yourselves. Okay. We will be releasing maps and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to get an advantage by knowing necessarily where it is. 100 Mile is the general area, so you can plan for how long it's going to take you to get there and that sort of thing. All right. Obviously, we'll release the address here in another little while. We're just trying to keep it out of the public domain for just a little while longer, just to protect against morons. Sorry. Big question that keeps getting asked is the camo team restriction situation. So if you've gone and you've taken a look at the tickets page, which if you are looking for them, they are in the event page itself. There's a link to the tickets there. We cross-linked a post from Trigger, and you could probably search for it directly on the Trigger website. You can purchase both your tickets, and if you are interested in, you can purchase a hotel or chalet room through the Trigger website. The teams are blue and red. There are no camo restrictions in place. Likewise, there are no weapon restrictions in place. With one caveat to that, there are no weapon restrictions in place. However, there will be FPS restrictions that will be held to, as well as there are magazine limitations. The only things that can be running box mags, high capacity magazines, would be the LMGs, MMGs situation. No high caps. The reason that we're doing this is a tier 2 event, and this is meant to be an introduction level event to what we are calling tier 1. The world of Airsoft has this term milsim. It's a bit of a dirty word because it means something different to every person you ask. We have always avoided using the term milsim for our games in the past because as far as we were concerned, they weren't milsims. They didn't have all these extra restrictions on them, such as magazines, camo, etc., blah, 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 blah. Over we go. This one is not meant to be a full-blown milsim. It's meant to be an introduction to the world of milsim. So it's got a lot more of the elements of milsim that were still present in our other games without being the full pull, go and buy this specific uniform, you must use these weapons, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So mid caps, low caps, real caps, etc. Those sorts of things are acceptable. High capacity, high caps, flash mags, they're not. All right. Wear what you want. I would strongly suggest that if you got a squad of boys, wear the same camo, the same uniform as your squad, because it just looks better. It's easier for you to identify your immediate allies. And then part of your ticket price will include either a red or a blue badge, depending on your team. And this is one restriction on your uniform that we're putting in, not really a restriction really, but you need to have some Velcro that you can place this patch on where it can be displayed and seen. If it's underneath a piece of equipment or something like that, that's not good enough. It needs to be visual. If you don't have that, we are going to place flagging tape of the appropriate color on you. So if you want to avoid the flagging tape situation, just wear your patch, then do that. Okay. Again, the reason we're doing this is so that we open the door a little bit wider to people who are interested in the world of milsim, and those more restrictive sorts of events that I personally prefer to play, but can't necessarily make that work at this stage because of financial time constraints, whatever else it is, right? So this event is meant to try and bridge the gap between those two worlds, get you off the field of a regular Sunday game and get you into the world of bigger events without the same sort of pay gates, as it were, in place. What's the difference between the teams? There is no difference at this particular stage, other than the people you play with and who's going to lead you in the form of your commander. There might be surprises on the day off. I'm not going to tell you that, or it's not a surprise. But no, at this time, there's no advantage to picking one team over the other. It's literally just, what do you prefer, red or blue? We can say in the past, a lot of the Russian guys tend to pick red, and a lot of the NATO guys tend to pick blue. So maybe that'll help sort of guide you which area you want to go to. But it's up to you. Really, it doesn't matter. We just want you guys to come out and play and have a good time. When does early bird end? Was another question that has been asked. At this time, we're saying end of February is probably the most likely time that early bird will end. I will try to get a more clear answer on that one and get it out to you guys as soon as I can. But use that as a rough sort of number. Ticket sales are looking good at the moment, and the chalets are selling out quite quickly. Honestly, that's probably the best bang for your buck. If you've got 5-6 guys that you're going up with, you boys all chip in for the chalet, split it 6 ways. It's quite affordable, and you get a nice room, big size room, to toss your stuff in for a night's sleep. Again, on that particular note, there might be some qualms, as it were, about the particular structure of play and why it is not the full 40-hour milsim experience that people may have been hoping for. The reason is this. We sat down and talked about it, figured it out, worked out that in an average 40-hour milsim, how much of that time is actually spent engaged on the field playing the game of Airsoft, and how much of it really is just camping with the boys with a bunch of toy guns. We figured that out. We talked over the most recent experiences we've had of when gameplay tends to peter out at night and the reasons why it does that. One of the big reasons is once it gets dark enough, there's a very small percentage of people who have night vision equipment who can actually use the nighttime to best effect. And then there's a whole bunch of people who basically are blind and, short of turning on a flashlight and announcing to the entire world where they aren't usually having too great a time. Now, of course, there are those crazies. I'm sure some of you guys are these crazies that love running around blind as a bat in the dark, hunting people with a Sharpie. You guys are nuts. Hats off to you, but you guys are nuts. Most people aren't like that. I know if I didn't have my fancy night vision toys, I probably would not be overly thrilled about being out at night. So the reason we decided for the format that we did was purely because we don't want people shutting down in the middle of the night anyway. We wanted a nice big event to kick off 2019 and to sort of announce that we're still around and we're coming back, as well as to give Trigger, who asked us to help host this event, a good taste of how these things can go. And so we decided the best possible way to do that would be to make sure that the gameplay was as intense as we could get it, and really took advantage of the best hours of the days to play. And we came up with a format that we did. We have plans in the works for other milsims at other times where it will be the traditional 40 hours plus experience. For this one, you're not going to have any less of an experience. The hours might look less. It's just everything is now condensed and compacted into a more usable time frame by the widest number of people. Okay? The rules, I'm currently working on them. I have to apologize on that front. I was quite ill last week and over the weekend had some issues that delayed my ability to work on a screen. I had horrible allergies, dry eye stuff, still got some going on right now. But basically, I'm working on those. I'm hoping to get them out soon. That'll codify all of our expectations. They're really not that different from things that you may have seen before. There was I forget what they call it, Kodiak event recently, as well as some of the rules put on by various other organizations that you're all probably aware of. They all tend to follow the same thing. I don't see any point in reinventing the wheel. So you can use those as a general rule of thumb as to what can be expected of you. Okay. One thing on the weapons side of equipment side of things, it will be bring your own BBs with the restriction of it being bio only. Caveat being, if you are using tracers, which we strongly suggest and recommend because they're awesome, you will be able to bring in tracer rounds. We would just like if you could salt and pepper, so that the majority of what you're firing is little bio BBs with the odd tracer thrown in. We think this looks cool because most of your BBs are dark, and then you get the occasional flash like a tracer should be instead of a solid stream laser beam thing. And the reason why is that the vast majority of tracer BBs are non-biodegradable. We want to do what we can for the environment. We love this game. There's no need to be shooting styrene BBs around when we've got an alternative. Food stuff. There was a couple of questions I saw asked about this. We are working with the resort at present to try and get the food situation sorted out to see what's the numbers that they can support at any given moment, and how that would work with you guys. So there may, I have to stress, may be an option for some food on site. However, the vast majority of food you are going to have to bring in yourself. Okay. For this event, we have actually bought out the property. This has been done to ensure that there are no interruptions by other people from the general public wandering into the area or getting involved in any way, shape, or form. It's also been done to protect us as the organizers to make sure that no one is sneaking on without having paid their fair share. This is also for you because it's not right that you guys pay, some other guy doesn't pay and just sneaks onto the field some way. So we've got multiple layers of security to prevent that particular scenario from happening. And then also, as I said, to keep the general populace from interfering in the game, which gives us a lot more freedom to just relax and play our game. However, in order to achieve that end, once you enter the property on Friday, the gates will be closed and they will be only opened at certain time periods, or in the case of an emergency, meaning that once you're on site, you're on site. You're not leaving for anything other than some kind of a serious emergency. So you're gonna have to bring all your food and water with you. Now it is a fully functional resort, meaning those of you that have rooms will have access to fresh running water in your bedroom. There will be some taps and things like that, but we don't want 150, 200 people descending on the resort's one tap in the lobby to fill up your hydro bladders and cooking pots and whatever else you guys happen to bring. So please bring everything that you can with you into the property. We've got a couple of things on that particular front that we'll let you know once we've got details worked out a bit more with some of the local populace and things like that might help you guys out a bit more. But yeah, you're gonna have to bring your own food and your own water for the vast majority of the event, snacks and things like that. If you guys get hungry mid-game, that sort of thing. So that is all for now. I know that was a bit rambly, a bit long. Again, sorry about the visual audio stuff. We'll try and get that fixed up for next time. We're still looking for a couple more applicants for command position roles. We have had a few come in, which is great. Thanks a lot to those of you who have sent that in. But we want a couple more options for this event and future ones, people that we can talk to who are interested in that kind of thing, guys that we can start working with a bit more closely to give people the best possible experience. What we're looking for in a commander really is someone who understands that the role of commander is to ensure that the player has the best possible experience. If your idea of commander is, I want to be the dude who takes credit for winning the game at the end of the day, that's not really what we're looking for. We want someone who's a bit masochistic, really. who likes sacrificing their sleep to ensure that other people have the best possible experience. That's what we are concerned about in a person wanting to be a commander. We know you guys are out there. We've seen you out in the field. People who give of yourselves more than is perhaps healthy. So that's what we're looking for. If you're interested in that, please let us know. Yeah, get your tickets fast, guys. Trigger's website. We've got the links in the event page, May 17th to the 19th. More to come soon. Keep those questions coming in. We'll be doing a couple more of these as we get closer and closer to the event. Thinking of maybe a live sort of thing so that we can answer your questions on the fly. But yeah, hit us up. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there and expect more in the future. So that's all for now. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Omega out.